Hi Scorpio, I am Raheem with the Modern Spiritualist, and today I'm going to do an April 2020 tarot reading for the sign of Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So if you know your sun sign and it's Scorpio, you're in the right place. If you know your moon and your rising, make sure to look for those as well. I am going to pull the cards and then we'll get started. Alright, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the month of April 2020. So, in the heart of the matter position, kind of the theme that runs throughout April, we've got the Devil reversed. Crossing you, we've got the Seven of Pentacles. Recent past, we've got the Queen of Cups reversed. New circumstance, we've got the Eight of Pentacles. In your foundation, we've got the Lovers reversed. Crowning you, we've got the Hanged Man reversed. Your attitude, we've got the Queen of Swords reversed. A lot of reversals. We've got the Nine of Wands and the Five of Pentacles for your external circumstances. Whew. For what you fear, we've got the King of Pentacles. Outcome energy, we've got the Chariot. Nice. Okay, Scorpio. Right off the bat, what I get is a sense of lightness that's kind of shrouded inside a feeling of heaviness, and it just feels like sort of smoke and mirrors. Like there's this veil of illusion, but because the illusion itself is so dense in quality and feeling, it feels very, very real for you. But then right behind it, there's just I feel this like curtain of sunshine. So it's kind of making me laugh because it's like you're okay, and you don't necessarily feel okay. Really interesting. So, heart of the matter theme for this month, we've got the Devil. You are chaining yourself. I get a sense that there's a lot of self-imposed limitations and narratives and stories holding you back, and you're letting yourself be chained to them. Some of you may be aware of this, but there's sort of this fear of stepping into your own power and moving forward. Because crossing this energy as well, we've got the Seven of Pentacles, which means that I just get the feeling that things have not worked out for you the way that you have wanted them to. And you know that's true for everybody globally right now. Is everybody had plans, and they're all being ruined. Um, but I get the sense that you're really blaming yourself for the things that are not going well, and it's contributing to the self-imposed limitation that you're placing on yourself because it may feel easier to um, blame yourself for everything because then it feels like you have control. And if there's fear of not being in control, then even those narratives, even if they feel damaging to you, if they're damaging to your heart center and your emotions and they feel heavy, it's sort of like, okay, well, this is better than feeling like I'm not in control of the situation, right? So I would encourage you, Scorpio, to first recognize that things are not what they appear right now. Um, every situation is a teachable moment. Every situation is giving you something that you need, which does not always align with wants. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Um, but I get a real feeling of feeling like no matter how much you try, you just can't get ahead. And in pandemic time, those personal stories of where do I want to go, who do I want to be, I want to follow my heart. I'm not saying that they're a problem because they're not. But in pandemic times, we really do get an opportunity to see what we do have, which is often much more than we think that we have. Like, it's a good time to lean into family. It's a good time to lean into roofs over our heads and food on the table and to really ground ourselves in the simplicity of that and see the beauty that is inherent in it because, I love the dream. We all love the dream. And we all want to dream big. And that's fine and that's beautiful. But I mean, and I get a real ancestral connection here. For our ancestors, what we're living now, it was the dream. And I've been thinking about this more and more in my own personal work, and I am a Scorpio rising, and I'm trying not to insert so much of myself into this, though it's very difficult. I just keep thinking about how it's so important to dream the dream because whatever we realize in our individual lifetimes is amazing, yes. Also, our descendants carry that dream. So whatever we don't necessarily manifest in this life, that dream is still resonating through the bloodline. And each lifetime, we get a little closer, you know? Um, so I'd encourage you to look at what you do have and think, like, hey, the life that I'm living now, this was an ancestor's dream, an ancestor that dreamed me up, and just even the fact that you are here and you are your beautiful, wonderful self is a dream realized, Scorpio. Lean into what you do have right now because it is your most important resource. In your recent past, we've got the Queen of Cups. Some of you have been very much in your own internal world in terms of your emotions. Maybe you're not externalizing so much. That is common with many Scorpios unless they have a particularly extroverted other area of their chart, but we like to keep our feelings close, many of us. And you may be still feeling this. I just get a sense that there's a lot of emotional processing going on. Not a lot of it is being spoken out loud, and that's not necessarily, I'm not getting that coming in as a problem. Although, if you're feeling cooped up, I would recommend maybe reaching out to a really close, trusted friend right now since you're still feeling this energy, even though it's been going on for a while. Some of you are kind of on the cusp of a breakthrough, I feel, and that's really powerful. So if you, come up with some sort of way to, I don't know, externalize, even if it's for yourself, like if you journal, if you have some sort of like creative process, then do it for yourself just to get clear on your own feelings. And I feel like things are coming into coherence for many of you. Um, in your foundation, we've got the Lovers reversed. I feel a real resonance with self. Like you're trying to come back to yourself. You're trying to figure out who you are and what you need and how you're going to nourish yourself, how you're going to exercise self-compassion. And this is what is driving you this month. Is that, that longing that we feel, that we use so many things in our external reality to try to bridge the gap between us and that longing that we feel. That longing is actually a longing to be reunited with our own soul. And that's what the Lover's reverse energy tends to be. It's sort of like finding the inner lover within yourself. You are the love, you are the lover, you are the beloved, all at the same time. And that's what's driving you this month. Crowning you as the Hanged Man, reversed. I get a real sense of forward momentum, actually, and I have not gotten this in the reverse for any other sign, nor have I really gotten this energy for this card, but what I'm getting for Scorpio is a lot of forward momentum. Maybe using sort of the world slowdown as an advantage to get ahead on your own stuff in ways that weren't achievable for you before. And that's true, I think, for a lot of creatives especially, or people that have side projects that they want to do. Now that we're working less and we're stuck in the house all day, it's like, okay, well, I can do this now. I can do this thing that I always said I was going to do. I can finally do that because I have the time and space for it. And so I get a sense of things actually moving forward for you with this energy. In your new circumstances, the Eight of Pentacles, which actually reflects what I was just saying, you are leveling up your skill set. You are looking at the things that you are passionate about, that you want to do, and you're saying, okay, well, how can I get better? How can I refine? This is kind of like the apprenticeship energy. It's refinement and skill development and learning, which is excellent. In the position of your attitude, this is your energy coming into April. We've got the Queen of Swords reversed. You have no patience for your own bullshit right now, Scorpio. You're really looking at your narratives and the stories you tell yourself, and you're saying, no more. No more. You're second-guessing your own ego entrapments, Scorpio, which is really, really positive. Good for you. In the position of your external environment, you've got the Five of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. The Five of Pentacles, I'm channeling it in a way in which it's very traditionally representative of, which is feeling it's like a poverty mindset, particularly in a situation where you're comparing yourself to others. So you're kind of thinking like, oh, well, like it's okay for them and it's not okay for me. Like they're doing great and like I'm not doing so great. And because this is in your external situation, I'm getting this quite strongly, and it's a total mind thing, where I'm even picking up on some jealousy, or a sense of hopelessness towards looking at people's lives and just thinking that they have it better than you. And what happens with this energy is, number one, you don't know all that they're going through, ever. It's your own perception of somebody else's situation, number one. Number two, it's a really good way to not actually pick up our own power. Because, in mystical cosmologies, we call this kind of energy, it's called a clear mirror, which is basically a projection, but not projection in the sense that we usually think of the word, where it's like, oh, when you're judging somebody else, what you're doing is actually projecting onto them, sort of like a judgment because you don't like that in yourself, and so you're seeing that in another person. Clear mirror projections are the same thing, except what you're seeing in another person is things that you really value, and you're saying, oh, but they have that and I don't. But the thing about that, Scorpio, is the fact that you're recognizing that in another person means that it is also in you. And so this is a great way to say, oh, they have it, I don't. But in reality, everything they have that you're seeing, you also have. And so I would encourage you to keep that in mind as we go into April. Um, this is paired with the Nine of Wands energy, which is kind of an energy of like, I've had enough of this. Which can be a really powerful energy because when you reach that critical moment of I've had enough, you get really, really creative, you get really, really motivated, and you decide something needs to change, and you change it. And then you really tap into that well of inner strength um, in order to actually make that possible, which is an empowering thing. And so it seems like you are kind of saying, okay, I've had enough of this pattern, I'm going to step into my power, and I'm going to crush this pattern, right? So this is good. This is good, Scorpio. In the position of your fear, we've got the King of Pentacles. You are afraid that you are not cut out for living well in the physical material world, which is kind of a callback to this energy too. I'm getting the sense that like, oh, and we're all feeling this on some level. I don't have the right resources. I don't have enough resources. I can't provide for my family. I don't have it in me. I don't have the skills to be able to cultivate my life the way that I want it. That's what you're fearing. But yeah, I would encourage you. Again, it kind of comes back to this, where it's like, can you really not do it, Scorpio, or is it easier to not actually take the responsibility? And I'm sorry if that sounds a little bit direct. Um, but you've made it this far, Scorpio. Remember that. Remember that you've made it this far, and think about the things that you have gotten through, right? Because I'm sure nothing has been easy. Right? We've got this Knight of Wands energy. It has not been easy. But here you are, surviving, right? And so you're a survivor, Scorpio. What do survivors do? They survive. You can do this, Scorpio. And then we've got the Chariot energy. You're about to unleash your power. That is what I'm getting from this reading. You are addressing the things that are holding you back from unleashing that power, and then right towards the end of the month, you are unleashing it. It's kind of like the entire month is pulling back the arrow, and at the very end of the month, you let the arrow fly, and you're an unstoppable force after that. So this is really amazing, Scorpio. This is a fantastic reading. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be gratifying, and you're going to be excellent at it. You're really going to bust through the wall and break through to the other side. So, thank you, Scorpio, for being you. I love each and every one of you, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks.